Hello and welcome to Kinda Keto with Donna. This video is going to be a little bit different. I've been wanting to do this for almost 6 months now. I know how I look, I know how my clothes feel, and how I feel living this lifestyle, being in the keto lifestyle. But what I don't know, or what I'm concerned about, is still what's on the inside. Is this diet going to kill me? Is it going to give me a heart attack? Is it going to give me a stroke? Good looking corpse. Well, I'm about to do some testing, so follow along with me and find out the results with me. Now, I'm also a little bit at odds with, I guess, the normal establishment. The thing again, with keto and standard American diet and government advice, doctor's advice for years, we've been clashing heads. More and more are coming around to like keto and low carb. It's definitely great for diabetes, but there's still a bit of debate about cardiovascular risk, about heart attacks, about strokes, about eating this way is going to give you that. And, obviously I'm doing this to be healthy. So I really don't want to do it and, have a heart attack from it. So in the back of my mind, I'm still a little concerned about it. In 30, 40 years, I'm almost 58. 30, 40 years of hearing fat is bad for you. Fat's going to make you fat. Fat's going to kill you. And I started eating fat, more fat, and I had lost weight and I feel good. That shocked me. 30, 40 years of, oh, don't eat salt. That's going to raise your blood pressure. Well, I've always had good blood pressure. I put salt when I used to cook, when I cook, but I never salted my food. Well, now I salt my food. I got my pink salt. I put on avocado almost every morning. Put it on celery. I never did. I put it just, here and there, and I add salt. And my blood pressure is still wonderful. 30, 40 years of eat less and exercise more. Well, I haven't exercised on my journey so far. And it's almost about a year and a half now. I haven't exercised once. I think I went for a couple walks. Now, I am a big advocate for exercise. It's wonderful for many, many things. And that is good for your heart. It's good for your lymphatic system. It's good for your endorphins. It's good for lots of wonderful things. But I just don't have time for it. I've got an Etsy business. I have a regular job. I'm doing videos for you. So it hasn't really fit into my plan. Eventually, here and there, maybe I'll pick some up, but that's not something I stick with, but eating, I stick with. And I eat a lot now, and I don't exercise, and I've maintained and been at the lowest I have ever been in my adult life. Right now, eating the way I'm eating and not exercising right now. So, all their guidelines and all their help really not great. So, but that little bit of 10% inside me is concerned about the heart risk. Now, as you know, or if you don't know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm in the medical field, but I do x-rays, so I don't really think that qualifies me. So I'm not giving advice. I'm sharing with you my journey, my concerns, and eventually my lab work. Now, my doctor knows how I've been eating, and it doesn't discourage me from it. I don't think he believes in it, but hasn't discouraged me from it. But as soon as my LDL went up a little bit, he wants me on a statin. Now, lots of doctors push the statins, and I'm on the fence about that. My husband's on one. He has no effects, but I've watched other videos. I've watched documentaries. I just think it's pushed too much. I don't think I've even heard women shouldn't even do it. The whole high cholesterol thing. We need cholesterol for so many things. I'm not concerned about that. And I think my doctor is getting away from that. The cholesterol, the total cholesterol. He does not get the LDL particle size. And I don't know how to ask for that kind of test. So he just sees a high LDL. So we don't know whether it's the large, fluffy one, which is harmless, or whether it's the small, dense ones, and that's the one that contributes to the atherosclerosis. We don't know that. He just knows it's high, and he wants to put me on a statin. Now, it's one thing to suggest, hey, well, you need to be on a statin. Okay, I pass. Thank you. End of story. But he kind of keeps pushing it, and that's sort of bugging me. And every time I go, and luckily I don't go very often, but he kind of pushes it. Not just that I say no. Why? He wants to know, is it the side effects? What are you concerned about? What is it? I'm concerned that it's overprescribed and I don't want to be on it the rest of my life. And I don't feel I need to be on it. And that's the point of this video. I will show you numbers in a minute. But my biggest thing is that there's many other risk factors for cardiovascular disease and for heart attack risks. I'm obviously not overweight anymore. I've never been diabetic. I don't smoke. My blood pressure is fabulous. My HDL is good. My triglycerides are fabulous. So why do I need to be on a statin? So if you have any comments, feel free. Don't yell at me, but be gentle. You agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Don't worry, I won't blame you if I have a heart attack and I didn't take the statin. I'm not against all medications. I told him that too. Now, if I was diabetic, I've seen a lot of diabetes in the hospital. I'm in the operating room a lot. I see a lot of wound care issues and uncontrolled diabetes, and it's nasty, and my father had diabetes. If he said I had a thyroid issue, I'd go on medication. He said I had certain conditions, I'd go on medication. I mean, I like holistic approach. I would try whatever first. But there's just something about this statin that I just do not want to go on and probably will not go on. As a matter of fact, he wants to refer me to a cardiologist with no other risk factors except one lab test. He wants to refer me, he wants me on a statin, and he wants to refer me to a cardiologist. Why do I need to go to a cardiologist if I'm not going to go on a statin? Okay, so here are my lab results recently, or before keto. That was 2019. Very good blood pressure. Cholesterol coming up a little bit. HDL is decent. LDL already coming up a bit. Triglycerides are real good, and the ratio was in the normal time. And then in 2022, cholesterol going up a little more, but my good cholesterol going up as well. LDL, that's what he's concerned about. And then the triglycerides went down. And I have also read about this triglyceride to HDL ratio, that it should be below 2, and mine is 0.69. And I've also learned about this VLDL, that's the very low density lipoproteins. It's connected to the triglycerides, and high levels can contribute to atherosclerosis, and you want that between 6 and 34 milligrams per deciliter. So this is where some more testing comes in. There's a test I really wanted to do, and I've been, kind of checking into it here and there over the last few months. Like I said, I've been wanting to do this since last September. Called a CAC test. Now, I don't know how many of you are actually in this lifestyle. Have you heard of that? It's called a coronary artery calcium scan and score. And there's many people, and there's many on YouTube as well, but there's people that have a 0 score, which means your risk of heart disease is very, very minuscule. However, even though insurance doesn't cover it, and I'm willing to pay for it, you have to have a doctor's order. My doctor won't order. I finally found out where to get it. It's a CT scan, no dye or anything. It's just a CT scan. But my doctor won't order it. He wants me to go to the cardiologist. Well, I'm not going to the cardiologist who's going to order it? And then if it's zero, then I don't need the statin, so why do I have to go to a cardiologist? Now, something came in the mail that intrigued me. It was a company called Lifeline Screening. And they go around to different towns and they kind of rent like a convention center kind of thing. And they do like a day of just a whole bunch of different types of testing. And you pay cash for it. It's not an insurance thing. I was going to pay for the CAC score. Well, the very first thing on there is an ultrasound of your carotid arteries. That caught my attention. So they have a package of 4 separate tests, all together for $159. 4 tests. The carotid artery screening, which looks for the plaque, and of course, plaque buildup can lead to cardiovascular disease, stroke, and aneurysms. So we don't want that. A heart rhythm screening, which checks for atrial fibrillation. Abdominal aortic aneurysm screening, and peripheral arterial disease screening. So they check your legs and everything. So if there's blockages, then, that's not good. I also added a little, because I just kind of wanted to get as much information as I could, for another $99, I believe it was, an annual key health assessment. So they're doing some blood work, some lipid panel blood work. I don't remember all of the things, but it was risk of developing 6 different conditions. This is one I really wanted, the 10-year heart attack risk assessment. And C-reactive protein, which checks for inflammation. And also, if you don't know, the one thing that we really focus on in this keto lifestyle is the reasoning we like it health-wise is because it reduces inflammation. And inflammation leads to more problems. So the lower inflammation, the better. Now, not as great as the CAC score. Maybe I'll push for that next year. But I think this will show, one, if I am on the wrong track, which God, I hope not, because I like this way of eating. But if I'm on the right track and all my assessments are zero, like really good, then one, kind of shove that in my doctor's face. But again, why would you want me on a statin if my risk is so low? But speaking of assessments, I'm not sure how I'm going to put this in there. I scanned this in the computer, so I'm going to be doing a picture, or maybe a voiceover. But last year, on March 22nd of last year, I went to cvriskcalculator.com. But you plug in a bunch of numbers and you get an assessment of your cardiac risk. So about whether you should take aspirin, whether you have indication to be on a statin. So that intrigued me. I found it somewhere, I don't know, listening online to somebody on YouTube. So I thought I'd check it out. So you put your age, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, risk factors, diabetes, no. Smoking, no. Gender, HDL. And then I'm not on any medications, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's all you put in. So my score, well, I'm going to do it on here, but I'll show you up a little closer. It's 2.2. 2.2 is my risk score. And that is my 10-year risk of heart disease or stroke. 2.2. I kind of feel I'm on the right track. And it says on the basis of your calculated risk for heart disease or stroke, less than 7.5, way less. The ACC AH guidelines suggest you have no indication to be on a statin. I brought this to my doctor. He said, LDL's not on here. So he just completely disregarded it because their calculator, which would be interesting to know who pays for their calculator, whether that's through a statin company or not. But even if not, their risk assessment, of course, has the LDL, and I forget what he said my number was. So that's why we're at odds right now. Speaking of medications, all these cholesterol-lowering medications, lipitor and all, if you look at the bottom, I actually did a screensaver and see if I could, but that was like months and months ago. So I'm going to see if I can find that, pull that up. At the bottom of their advertisement says, lowering cholesterol has not been shown to reduce the risk of heart attack. So why would we take it? Why? So that's why I want to do some of these tests. And I just think it'd be interesting to see how things are going and, which end of the spectrum I am. I feel I'm in a good place, but I don't want to be blind, and be stupid either. And so I'm really hoping that, of course, things come out good. So follow along with me and see how it goes. I'll let you know when I go. As things, I don't know if I can videotape in there, but I'll show you my results when I get them back. Now let's check the weight this morning. 131.8. I can certainly live with that. Well, today's the day. So today's the day of the screening, and they did say to wear a open collar shirt. They need to be able to get to your upper arm and your neck for the carotid screening. And also for your ladies, if you ever do this, don't forget to shave. So apparently they also need to get to your tibia, to your lower leg. They're going to do a scan there, I believe. There was a lot of different tests, so I'm making sure which ones I actually did get. But I will let you know for sure when I'm done. All right, well, follow along. This must be the place. Let's go in. Okay, so they're just renting a conference room and kind of divvying it up, different areas. And they'll kind of do assessments. That's all it is. I'm waiting to get checked in. We do give you some test results right there. So this was my laboratory test results for my cholesterol panel and glucose. So my total cholesterol is 210, which actually is much better than my last lab result. And of course, they say borderline high. 2 to 239 is high. Are you kidding me? They just want you on cholesterol medicine. 210 is fine, I feel, in my opinion. HDL cholesterol is 68, which I got my green thumb there. And you want it equal to or greater than 60. So that's good. That's my good cholesterol. Okay, the LDL cholesterol is 121. Supposedly this is the bad cholesterol, and that is down actually, but that is the number that my doctor is concerned about and wants me on a statin for. And in this test, I got a green thumb, and near optimal or above optimal, 100 to 129, and I am at 121. My triglycerides are 104, which I keep hearing that is more of a predictor of heart disease than anything, is your triglycerides. And they want it below 150, and I am fabulous at 104. So I do not feel I have a risk for heart disease or that I have heart disease right now. I am not concerned about it because of this and I have no other risk factors. Okay, and then your glucose level is your diabetes risk. I have a 93, I did fast, and now I got a green thumb. Normal, you want 61 to 99, and I am 93.